consider a lot of these videos that I do kind of a journal, like documenting the progress, documenting the journey. And I always try to plug in some lesson to help other people, and you can gather your own opinion based on what I've put out there so far. But I'm sitting here driving to work, and I'm just thinking about all the stuff I've been through, the hard things, and how today, now I'm 44 years old, and it's just, things are so good. Like, I've just made it through these obstacles, and it's kind of a strange, unique place for me to be in, to just not have severe problems around me that are outside of my control, stuff that I have to deal with because of circumstances that I either kind of helped or didn't help create. But for example, just establishing a relationship with my daughter early on in sobriety was very difficult. Her mother tried to keep her from me, said that I wasn't her dad, and took years of court to just get a divorce. She also said we were never married. I had to prove I was married to get divorced, and prove that my daughter was mine to get custody. It was a crazy, very difficult couple of years, very expensive. And, that's done. It's been done for a long time. She's 14 now, and we have a great relationship. We have a very fun home. Same thing with my son, it's a humble little place, but God, I just really enjoy my house and my kids, and it's peaceful and it's amazing. And that in itself too is another issue. I had my last marriage, my son's mom, it was not a peaceful house. There was always contention. Turns out she has some very severe issues. We went to a counselor and discovered some things, and to her incredible disappointment, it wasn't me. There were some things I could work on, certainly, but she has some severe issues, and it was obvious to me. There were serious problems, but not now. That's gone. That's resolved. She, instead of dealing with those problems, went out and divorced me. And even though that was one of the most painful things I've been through, my gosh, I don't know, I've lost my dad. My dad died. That was hard. I'd put it right up there with this divorce, man. There was just this feeling of betrayal and hurt and disappointment. I really wanted my family to be a unit, and that was just a very difficult time. That was only, I don't know, 2.5, 3 years ago now. But all that emotion has subsided. We're amicable now and getting along as far as co-parenting goes, and it's peaceful. It's there's massive resolution there, if not completely resolved. It feels amazing. Financially, I've always had financial problems. There's always been an issue. It's just it's tough raising kids. It's tough not having somebody tell me, it's tough not having someone tell me what to do and how to do it. So I had to figure it out on my own, and I've just been kicked around, and I've always hungered for success, but I just did it the wrong way quite often. I had to learn it on my own, which is brutal. I've had the world teach me the principles that are necessary to gain some level of financial, I don't know if financial freedom's the right word, but I can breathe a sigh of relief. The bills are paid and there's still money in the bank, and God, that's a good feeling. It's a very good feeling. Same thing with the business, right? We started up the business, or the program, the Simplify Vision, right? Started that up a little over a year ago. Very scary. I did it because I had to. The divorce had happened, and that was around the time frame of the divorce. I needed something. I had to, jump in and help other people. That's what saves me. That's, the 12th step is what keeps me sane and keeps me out of trouble. And, just getting the property and putting the LLC together, and, is it going to work? Is it not going to work? Like there's just a long list of headaches, you know, getting registered with all the city stuff and all the minutia that's required, and the risks that are involved. You know, that was a very challenging thing, and it's working out. You know, like it's going great. It's very successful. Hopefully, we're about to open up our second location today, maybe. Like talking with realtors are talking to each other right now. Incredible success stories with all that. So, yeah, I just wanted to take a minute and kind of just recap. I mean, I know there's other great, you know, as far as the relationship with my mom, that's always been a big, horrible, ugly, nasty, difficult thing for me in my life. We've just, since age 12, 13, when I moved away from her home and went to live with extended family and ultimately became a foster kid, you know, neither one of my parents could take care of me from age 13, you know, and they both were incapable, and I've had to deal with that and process it. And my mom and I have just never, I mean, we'll have short little periods where we, you know, get along, and there was even a time, you know, when I first got sober where, you know, we actually, I would say, had a very good relationship, but that's it. It's always been short-lived. There's always been betrayal. There's always been hurt and confusion, and now I've just come to terms with it. You know, like I'm not mad at her. I pray for her and I wish her the best, but you know, I'm willing to sit down and my brothers too, get a mediator and work things out, but she just doesn't want to. She's not willing to, and so that's okay. That's, you know, I can't control that. And the next best thing is just some separation and some boundaries and enjoying my life regardless. And that's exactly what I'm doing. You know, like there's no more torment or pain, or, you know, I just don't allow it anymore, and I feel okay about it. Given the circumstances, I think that's all I can do. But gosh, it just feels good. Oh my gosh. Oh, and I've a relationship too. You know, I've got this girl I've been seeing for going on 8 months now, and it's just it's a unique dynamic for me to be interacting with somebody that has these incredible attributes that are effective in resolving issues and getting along and working through things together. There are so many consistencies that just add my ability to trust, add to my ability to trust, over time. I just start realizing what I have not been able to do in the past. You know, it starts with, you know, as far as relationships go for me, it started with serious issues with my mom. I don't want to diagnose her with anything, but there's something horribly wrong, and I believe there's a personality cluster B thing going on in there somewhere. And I have always just subconsciously recognized those attributes in other potential mates and females, and I see those behaviors as normal. That's what I know growing up, and they're not normal. They're toxic, they're horrible, and they're destructive, you know, and that's a whole other conversation. But I have repeatedly married the personality type like I knew as a child, and it's been a disaster over and over again. At least in sobriety, when I was out drinking and drug, like, you know, it was just, they were probably the ones taking abuse from me, most likely. But in sobriety, I've, you know, settled into this codependency awareness that I am, and have had these horrible relationships, and now to have a healthy relationship is just like, put that on the list of amazing things. And God, it's worth it. It's worth it, man. That's the message, I guess. Like, you know, you guys, if you're coming in, you got to be hungry for success. You got to be hungry for sobriety, and then from there, not drinking and drugging is tip of the iceberg. There's just so many things in life if you're willing to do the work and learn, get yourself educated, learn good principles, and you know, gosh, there's just all these books that I talk about, and these mentors, and this good stuff that's out there. Get onto my YouTube channel and on the Instagram page and start finding these little hints that I'm giving you, and then others too, whatever works for you, whatever direction you want to go. But man, to see it work in the right direction and finally work out for me, and I don't know if I've arrived in anything. I've just, you know, I am where I am right now, and it feels good. It's just so much better than it's ever been. I don't know what else to say about it, but hang in there, guys. I hope you get to experience stuff like this too, man. It's worth it, because a lot of dudes go out there, they go away, they die, and, you know, they disappear. We never know what happens, and that's sad. That was certainly very close to happening to me many times, but thank goodness, thank God, literally, that it didn't, and I'm here today, because it's good. All right, thanks, bye.